Okay, good morning. Thank you so much for joining my presentation today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys kind of an overview, and then we're going to go ahead and start using it. And so you are able to see how I integrate Canva Magic Write in my lessons. This year, I taught second grade. I've been teaching second grade for 5 years. So this is a great tool. It saves time. You can use it for so many things, and it's something that the district already has for us, and we just got to make sure that we take advantage of the resources that we have, and that we use it to save time. So if at any point during the presentation, feel free to unmute, ask a question. If you think I'm going a little too fast, a little too slow, anything, let me know. So my presentation, again, it's Artificial Intelligence Canva Magic Write. And it's a very simple tool. I will be sharing these slides. That way, whenever you have a chance and you want to implement it, you know exactly where to go. So Canva Magic Write, let's begin. We will be using Magic Write on Canva to create short stories to use when targeting TEKs. Magic Write is an embedded tool that provides assistance by generating reading material for daily lessons and TELPAS preparation. So I've used it for TELPAS, I've used it for reading, and I recently started using it during my math centers. And a little bit you see how this tool makes everything so much easier. So first of all, this is step one. Like I said, I'm going to go over the presentation and then I'll show you. So step one, we log into Canva. We all have access to Canva. We're going to click on Documents, which is this icon right here. In a little bit, I'll click on it. We're going to click on that plus sign and we're going to click Magic Write. And this is where the magic begins. I personally love Canva Magic Write. Here is where we're able to type short stories on kids playing outside. Earlier I did type because I was playing it for math centers, and I put short math problems addition, and you'll see in a little bit. I'll go back to this slide in a little bit, just extra tools that you have there, but let me show you why or how I use Magic Write in my classroom. So for example, I use Magic Write to create short stories for editing and revising. So I click on Magic Write and I put short stories. I change them to Spanish and I'll show you how. And this is an easy way for you to use it as a entry ticket, for you to do some mini lesson. If you notice, it is the same story. This is more mainly for me, the teacher one. I highlight the mistakes. This is the one that the kids get to be able to, okay, well, what words have to be edited, or where do we have to revise? So this is much more of a guidance. But in a little bit, you're gonna see how easy it is to create stories like this, and how a lot of times, we don't have resources like, oh man, I wish I had another informational text, or I wish I had another story where I can give students a chance to practice and edit and revise. Well, Magic Write does it for you. Another idea on how I used it is, if you remember, if you've seen these are pictures from the Telpa Summit K-12, the writing portion. So I kind of wanted to incorporate them in a lesson because I wanted the kids to be familiar when they do Telpas and be like, oh my God, we saw the kitty and the cat. The kitty and the fish. So I kind of used these pictures and I was like, okay, I need them to make inferencing, to draw conclusions. So what I did is on Canva, I wrote short story about a cat looking at a fish. And this is exactly what it gave me. So now I'm going to go back. I know I went a little bit too fast, but I kind of wanted to give you an overview before I show you. So going back to step one, we're going to log into Canva. So I have another screen open. So this is Canva. We all have access through our district. And you have this icon right here that says documents. So you're going to click on doc. And it's going to take you here. So this is the second step, was click on the plus sign. And you're going to click Magic Write. And this is where everything starts. So it says use 5 or more words to describe what you want to write. So this is where I wrote short story of a cat looking at a fish. That's all I did. So then here, all you do is you click generate. And this is AI for you. And of course, there you go. Like it stopped generating. So it says, on a sunny afternoon in a cozy little house by the lake lived a curious cat named Whiskers. Whiskers was known for his adventurous spirit and his insatiable curiosity. So of course, okay, you know what? I can use this, but I want to make it shorter because it's only second grade. Then of course you can edit, remove lines, add more, make it lengthier, make it shorter. So for example, let's pretend I really, really like it. Then you click insert. If you say, you know what, I really don't like it. If you click this one, retry, it's going to give you another story that has to do with a cat looking at a fish. But let's pretend, we want this one. Then you click insert. And now you have the story here. The only thing I don't like about Magic Write, maybe that's just my OCD, is that if you notice the top has a bigger text, the bottom has a smaller text. So the first thing I do is I highlight it and I fix the font just because I take away the bold. And then here I do 12, just because I want to see it better. So again, let's pretend this is the story that you want to use. You want to make it shorter. I think on mine and the story that I have that I use for Talbas, I think I just made it one paragraph. Now, the neat thing about it for us bilingual teachers is, okay, you already have the story created. If you highlight and you see these three dots right here, you're able to translate the text to Spanish. So you click translate text, you select the language, Spanish, and you translate. Una tarde soleada en una casita acogedora junto al lago vivía un gato curioso llamado Whiskers. Now, okay, for example, you can use this to draw conclusions, like I said, to target another TEK, or like I said, you can do for editing and revising for writing. So for example, what I would do is, of course, this is my master copy. For example, here I can put this lowercase because I'm gonna expect the kids to know that, a sentence starts with a capital letter. Cocina lo voy a poner con una K because I want them to understand that that word is misspelled. And this is exactly how it didn't take you too long to create a story using Magic Write. So this is something that I've been incorporating in my classroom as a second grade teacher. I think it's a great resource. I recently got moved to third, so now I'm waiting. I'm looking for more resources and more ways to practice more on the editing and the revising, like I said. So I'm going to show you now the math. So I'm just going to literally delete. So you delete, you go back to plus sign, Magic Write, and I put short math problems addition, and you generate. Oh, sorry, I forgot. You see here, I forgot to put word problems. So here, okay, I don't like it. I go back, short math word problems. So here they are. Of course, you can tweak it, but the thing is that you already have 5 problems right off the bat. You can literally copy paste them, create math centers. Mia has 12 apples. Her friend gives her 9 more apples. How many apples does Mia have in total? This is a program, like I said, that creates everything for you. All you have to do is put your thoughts into it. Now, I've done a lot of Donors Choose projects, and a lot of Donors Choose projects have gotten funded. And if you're familiar with Donors Choose, there's a section that it tells you, explain how you will utilize the materials that you're asking for, right? So now, again, this is math. You insert. If you don't like it, you put here, retry. And it's going to give you different ones. Maria has 23 apples. She buys 15 more from the market. How many apples, right? So again, you can keep doing the retry. And once you like something, you can insert, or you can insert these 5, do it again, and get another 5. So now for Donors Choose, I use Magic Write again. What do I put? For example, every year I ask for new headphones. And again, you have to write, how are kids going to utilize headphones? So then I put benefits of using headphones in the classroom. And it all has to do with the wording. A little bit more info that you write on it, it's going to give you more. So here you click generate. And this is exactly what I use for creating my projects on Donors Choose. This is something that we can definitely use for the teacher grants. So using headphones in the classroom can significantly enhance the learning experience for students, offering a range of benefits that cater to diverse educational needs. So literally I insert, I copy paste, I tweak it, I add a little bit less, I add a little bit more depending on your grade level. So this is definitely another way that I've used Magic Write. And lastly, again, this is Magic Write allows us to save so much time, allows us to have more resources when we teach, to create small centers you can create small centers for grammar, for math, for reading. You can create short stories just as an entry ticket. We're going to read this short story. We're going to find the mistakes. And this is a great tool that instead of, how do I put it? It creates more opportunities at an easier access, if that makes sense. So lastly, like I said, personal use, I was working on my master's this year and the professor kept saying, okay, I want you to rewrite this, paraphrase this information in your own words. So, we have so much stuff to do and I'm kind of going to use this document. So I'm going to insert real quick. Oh, now it gave me all the same font, which is good. So then going back to my professor, they wanted me to paraphrase a certain section. Magic Write does it too. So for example, I'm going to copy paste. Let's pretend my professor told me to paraphrase this paragraph, right? I'm going to copy it. I'm going to see if I can do it here. So I copy this one, right? But let's pretend I need to paraphrase. I need to make sure I write it again in my own words. If you click again the little plus sign and you click on Magic Write and you're going to start with paraphrase, and then you're going to copy paste everything that you wanted to get paraphrased. You click generate and it's going to give you the same information with different vocabulary in different, order, but now it's your own words created in seconds. So utilizing headphones over here was using headphones in the classroom can greatly improve students' learning experiences by providing numerous advantages that address varied educational needs. So again, this tool is so much easy to use. It is free for us. It creates so many opportunities to use during the classroom. And I think you just have to give it a chance and start practicing and start creating those donors choose projects with the wording. And again, AI is so big for us nowadays. And I think this tool allows us to facilitate our jobs, to create, resources without having to be on teacher pay teacher or buying resources, but it could be created here. All it takes is the right wording to look for the right information. So I don't know if you guys have any questions that I can answer for you or that I can show you on Magic Write.
Good morning, Ms. Rejo.
Good morning, Ms. Villarreal.
So really quick, can you just clarify how you're using this for Telpas?
Yes. So here on my slides, I'm going to go back to it. These images, for example, the cat and the fish and the dad that's pretending to be asleep and the kids with the balloon, those are images that you can find on Telpas on the writing portion of it. So what I do is I integrate those images because I believe on the writing Telpas, it just tells you create a story using the following image. So what I do is I use those pictures throughout my reading lessons daily. So the kids are a little bit familiar and they don't feel like Summit K-12 and Telpas is something aside from everything that we do, but they're more familiar. So when it finally gets to the time where, okay, we're going to do Summit K-12 this morning and I want you to focus on the writing, the response that I get from the kiddos is like, oh my God, we've seen that cat. Okay, well, now you create a story. Of course, you're going to have to do it in English, all that stuff, but at least they're more familiar with that image. And it's not something that they just saw, but it's something that, okay, we remember that time we talked about Whiskers. Oh yeah, we said that Whiskers wanted to eat the cat. Okay, well, now tell me in English. Write it in English. Let's practice. Just remember that lesson that we did. Let's go ahead and practice, but now writing it. So that's how I use it for Summit K. I use all the Summit K-12 images. I use the cat and the fish. I use the dad and the kids. I believe there's another one where, it's obviously three male figures and they're by the by the lake, and it's asking you, okay, tell me what's going to happening in this picture. So of course, based on Telpas, they have to write John, Sam, and Tom are fishing at the lake, and blah, 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 right? So again, I use those images, especially for the writing portion, so they are familiar with them, and so they don't see Telpas and Sami K-12 as something extra, but something embedded to reading and our daily lessons.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
And the other idea that I had also provided was the creating of the short stories, and then you're able to edit mistakes, create opportunities for the students to revise and edit a document. Again, this document, it looks maybe long, but we can start by doing a paragraph at a time. We can start by doing, then adding another one, and eventually having the kids edit a whole story, which is what STAR is about. It's lengthy, so we can start with certain sections. And I think, like I said, that this resource is free, and it allows everybody to start using it. So again, I'm going to share this presentation with everybody on the chat. That way, in case I went a little bit too fast, or you guys want to implement it later on in a month from now, 2 months, you remember all the steps and how you kind of can use the program. Again, remember, you can use it for short stories for math, and that is excellent for your math centers. You can use it for donors choose to create your projects. And you can use it also, like I said, for personal use. If you need to paraphrase anything, if you need to write something, a lot of the times I would write an essay about what teaching is, impact on teaching, right? So then I would write the essay, and I was like, oh man, I feel like my Spanish has a higher vocabulary than the English. So then I would copy everything on Magic Write, and then I would just put paraphrase, and it would give me like a huge vocabulary in English. And of course, like the presenter earlier was saying, people see it as cheating. No, it's not cheating, but a lot of the times these are tools that we use nowadays, and that technology is so big, and we can use it in the classroom. It can facilitate our job, and it can provide more and more opportunities aside from teacher pay teachers on Etsy, all those documents that we usually purchase. So again, I'm going to share in the chat the presentation. And I'm also going to share with you the survey. And I'm also going to share my email in case you have any questions. Like I said, if I went a little bit too quick, if you want ideas on how to incorporate Magic Write in your classroom, just send me an email, and I'm gladly here to help you answer any questions. that is the end of my presentation. I know my colleague is on S14. She's giving an awesome presentation on a tool also with artificial intelligence. It's like a little robot that you put a topic, for example, life cycles, and the kid is able to ask questions. And for example, for those kids that can't write or type, they're able to speak on the microphone. It's a little robot that gives them information. I thought it was such a neat idea for research, especially because a lot of the times we have research going on and we go to Google and we ask the kids, okay, research for this. And then they have to click every link and use the information. So that robot is amazing. If you have a chance, go to S14. She's giving an awesome presentation.
Quick question, Ms. Reyes.
Yes.
Just by any chance, because I work at a middle school, I'm just helping out with this. By any chance, is there anything for images that a Canva can do for AI or AI based?
I'll be honest with you, I have not played with images here on Magic Write, but I know that when the presenter right now this morning was talking about it, he mentioned like that there was a lot of programs that create images, obviously artificial images that we can use. But to be honest with you, I have not played with the other than Magic Write. Let me see. Yeah, I believe Magic Write is literally just gonna give you writing. Let me see. Images on life cycles.
I believe if you go to apps on the bottom left.
Here?
Yeah, if you go to apps right there.
Uh-huh.
And then if you scroll down a little bit, or actually you can go up. There's one that says AI powered at the very top.
Right here?
Yep.
So here I can just look for images?
It should populate something, but yeah, you could try. Okay,
No.
so hit that X one more time. And then go back to for you.
For
You
you?
can scroll down. You can keep on scrolling. You keep on scrolling. There's one that should say something AI based down there.
That's it. Maybe your apps? Do you want me to try that?
Yeah, you could try that.
No.
Go back to Discover, and then you could just keep on.
Magic Media.
Maybe
Magic
try
Media?
Magic Media. Yeah, you could try that one. And
Here?
then go ahead and put on the enter. Yeah, you could put, I don't know, whatever you might use in your classroom.
We have life cycle.
Yeah, so I know like at my campus specifically, we get a lot of questions regarding graphics just to get kids a little bit more interested in stuff. I know when you go specific stuff like with text, like if you were to do like for instance, life cycle, I know the text on it will be a little bit strange, but if you were to do something more like what the presenter in the morning, Mr. Matt did, like animals playing basketball, stuff like that, similar to what he had, just to capture your kids' attention with stuff. I think that type of stuff does get generated here.
Oh, nice. So that was on apps, correct?
Yes, correct. And you can also, I think,
Apps. Magic
yeah.
apps, Magic Media. Okay.
Yeah, so that pairs pretty well with Magic, right? Whether it be for the teacher or for the student, it allows them the creativity to kind of play with that type of stuff.
Yeah, or even you can even use it for free writing or creative writing. You can create an image and then have the kids create a story. So that's pretty neat. That's something that I learned today. I'm barely getting familiarized a lot with Canva, but I want to use Canva more on the Magic Write. I use it so much, and I think, like I said, it facilitates my job and it creates so many more resources. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Awesome presentation. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to place them in the chat. Otherwise, if you want to hop onto another session, you have it till about 10:30 for the next one. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Trejo,
I
Monday.
believe she has another session, right? Like, I think it's the 4th session. That's the one that I signed up for with Miss Mijares. I think it's the same one, but it's not the same number. So it would be the same
Yes.
presentation, right?
Yes, it's the same presentation. She kind of showed me yesterday, and it was very neat. I feel like that's still a little bit uh, higher level because I was like, oh my God, how do you make that little robot speak? But I thought it was so nice, especially the fact that you know how kids, have, curiosity. She's like, if they ask the robot, how are babies made? The robot's not gonna answer. And she showed me how the robot will be like, I'm sorry, this topic is out of our lane. Let's go back to life cycles.
Nice.
So I thought it was very nice because a lot of the times we allow the kids to use Google, and that obviously is open to many more stuff. And the little robot, you program it to just answer questions about life cycles, or I mean, obviously she gave me the example of the life cycle. So I thought it was really,
Specific
really
things.
neat. Yes, I thought it was
Nice.
really, really neat.
Nice. Well, I loved your presentation. I think when people say like cheating, I think it's more like enhancing. That's what we want to do as far as the students. We want to enhance their vocabulary, take something
Yes.
simple and make it more complex and more easy to come across, but at the same time with different type of vocabulary. So I definitely will be using this, and I like the fact that it's more of an enhancement for the students, and you can play with it many different ways. That's what I loved also. Like,
And
and
I
somebody
learned.
said for Spanish.
Yes, and I learned to use it this year, and I told Miss Mijares, I don't know what I was asking Mijares, and I said, oh my God, I need to work on my, because this was part of my observation for T-test, and she's like, just put it on Magic Write. To her, it was very natural, she's very tech savvy. And I said, what is Magic Write? So when she showed me, I said, you should have showed me this a long time ago. Like I felt like it facilitated so much other things. And sometimes when you're planning a lesson, you're like, oh man, I wish I had something a little bit extra. Well, Magic Write can do it for you.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.